Alright guys, now that we have all of our stuff completely done and finished up, we're going to be basically doing final assembly. So if you haven't taken notice yet and kind of picked up your pieces and just did like a dry fit or test run, the pieces fit together just like that. And there may be some like little gaps in between your actual sheet metal and your wooden piece. If that's so, doesn't matter a lot. We can always fix that a little bit later. Or the nails that we place inside of there will actually force it and pull it inside. One other thing you might notice is that it seems like this metal is actually not enough to wrap around from one side to another, which that's exactly how it was designed. But just make sure when you put this thing together, there's like a nice even gap on this side and a nice even gap on the other side. I'd hate for you to nail this whole entire thing together and you have one side that is like ridiculously like exposed and the other side is like even. It just looks kind of weird in my opinion. So to do this process, you're going to need the red toolbox, which I keep on the other side of the room. Turn the red toolbox, you're going to need some nails. This is a set of nails. Don't need screws. A pair of pliers. You're also going to need a hammer, as well as two of these blocks. One kind of looks like a chair. One looks like it has a groove and a hole in the side of it. This is to hold everything still. That way it makes it a little bit easier for you to nail everything together. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be opening up the vise. And we can only use one certain type of vise in my room. We can only use the ones that kind of look like this with a rectangular bar on the very bottom. We cannot use any of the ones that have like wood inside of them, like ones like right down here, like right over there. It has to be ones that look just like this right here. So I have a couple of them around the room, so there's more than enough to go around. We're going to take a piece of wood. We're going to take it so the frown is upside down. Dowel rod goes through the hole, just like that. We're going to make a giant sandwich out of it by taking the one that looks like a chair, laying it right on top, and this groove should like line up pretty evenly just like that. The way this is intended and designed, this cutout fits directly over top of the bar in the vise, just like so. We're going to tighten this thing down, just like that, and we're pretty much ready for assembly. So let's move you around, that way you can see just a little bit better. Right there should be pretty good. Alright, now for assembly, you can do this alone if you're pretty good with working with hand tools, but I would highly suggest that you have another person help you out. One person will be in charge of operating the hammer. The other person will be in charge of kind of like two jobs, like multitasking. They'll be in charge of holding the nail inside the pliers, just like that. That way you don't accidentally smack someone's hand. They will also be in charge of lining this up and holding it nice and still and even. We're going to start at the very top and work our way out. Hold the nail in place, take the hammer, and we're just going to basically tap it in, hold on to it with the pliers until the top of the nail reaches the top of the pliers. Just like that. Once that happens, we're going to take the pliers away and put it in the rest away. But let's say, for example, you make a mistake and you bend a nail. You can always bend it back with the pliers. Or if you just like totally demolish that poor little nail, you can always rip out the nails with a pair of pliers. That's one way to do it. So we're going to work our way from the inside out. Same exact process. And one quick tip, the easiest way I found out how to do this is when you're using a hammer and trying to hit a teeny tiny little nail like that, focus directly on the very top of the nail head. If you're looking somewhere else, most likely you're going to not even come close to hitting it. We're going to focus on this side next, so let's get this nail all ready to go. And you just repeat that process, working your way from the inside out. Make sure everything's lined up, just double check all that stuff, and keep continuing the process. Well, looks like it bent, so it looks like we have to fold it back out, or bend it back out. Let's try this again. And again. These nails bend fairly easy, so just bear with me here. So this whole time I'm doing this, I'm not choking up on the hammer, which basically means you're holding your hand up at the very top. I'm holding my hand about halfway. You deliver a lot more power when you move your hand further back because there's more leverage and you're swinging it a lot further. If you're up here, you're doing basically little baby taps, and it'll take forever to put that poor little nail in there. The two end ones, like this side and the other side, it's probably in your best interest to loosen this up and turn it in place. That way it's a little bit easier and you're not standing on your head trying to nail it in. And let's just repeat this whole entire process. Work our way around. And the other side. And just like that, we're completely done and finished up. If you spill any nails, by the way, please be responsible and pick them up. We don't like to waste any of these little guys. Any nails that you might have bent, put them in a separate pile. We'll put them in the orange metal scrap buckets like we were able to see earlier when we did some metalworking. We're going to take everything out. And just like that, we're done with our scoop. So there you go. We just went from beginning to end and made an entire scoop. Now, I'm probably going to have a turn-in box somewhere on one of the middle workbenches or the tables. Put your box or put your scoop there, and keep in mind, don't take it with you. I need to grade it and have it around to look at when I'm grading it to give you an actual grade. If you take it with you, then I cannot grade it. I don't have anything to base my grade off of. If I have any paperwork that I suggest that you do, you might want to take care of that as well. After that's completely done, after I grade it, I will probably hand that back to you and you can take it home. So there you have it, one scoop.